Welcome to Custom House Square in Belfast for the finals of the UK's Strongest Man. So far, it's been the tightest competition ever. Let's meet the 8 finalists.
Here we are on the final day, event 1, the limo pull. The athletes have to pull the limo up a 25-metre course using a harness and rope, and the fastest man will win. But there's not just one, there's 3.
It's the first event of the final of the UK Strongest Man 2005. Who's going to win, Glenn?
The ultimate strength final. The UK Strongest Man 2005 finalist, the Hummer Pull. 3 limos. Can only be the experience of my tip for the competition, Steve Brooks. Truck pulling his game, and he's definitely going to win this.
Anthony, you ready?
So Glenn fancies Steve Brooks, but first up is Wales's Dean Bolt. Pulling 24 tonnes of American Hummer limousine. He's off to a good start. Again, using all that leg strength, but also using the rope that you see in front there to pull him along. So it's a physically exhausting event, this. You'll see at the end how some of the guys, I mean, sometimes they're physically sick, such is the effort. They're really expending all their oxygen, and Dean's going great guns here. 32 seconds, still some way to go, a few metres off the finish line. Now Hummer's passed now, 40.7 seconds. I think he'll be pretty happy with that, but I don't know if he'll be fast enough to win this event. Second up then, Mark Lawson of England. Mark done very well to get through to the finals. Last year, you know, he was an also-ran, to be honest with you, but this year he's been a major competitor in the competition. He's going well, short, steady steps, keeping those trucks moving. Looks like he's marginally faster than Dean Bolt was at this stage. 30 seconds gone. Dean Bolt finished in 40.7, so Mark could be looking to finish inside that time. And he has done. 38.34 seconds for Mark Lawson puts him in the lead in the first event of the final day, the UK Strongest Man. Paul Roberts of Ireland up now. Looking like he's struggling a bit. He's not really getting those vehicles moving as quickly as I'm sure he'd like to. But the helpers at the side are making sure that rope doesn't get tangled up underneath those vehicles. Absolutely huge. And they shift a bit as well, I can tell you. When they arrived for this competition earlier this morning, had a little blast around the car park for everyone's benefit. Very impressive. So 34 seconds, 38.34 to beat. It doesn't look like he's going to do that. 42, 43, 44.2 seconds, the official time then for Paul Roberts. So Mark Lawson leading this one. Dave Mear will be looking for an impressive showing. Now it's guys like Dave Mear who suffer more in an event like this. It's the guys with the bigger body that really feel the depletion of oxygen. Giving himself a little shout of encouragement. Well, little, there's no such thing as a little shout when it comes to big Dave Mear. He's definitely one of the funnier guys on the circuit in strongman. Great fun to watch, and the crowd love him too. Still about 5-6 metres away from the finish line. Come on, Dave, one last effort. Not beating Mark Lawson's time. Well, 43.06 seconds for Dave Mear. I think he's going to be disappointed with that. Another big man. Dale Norris of Wales. Getting low, getting too low, slipping over. That's not going to do him any favours. He'd have lost a good second and a half on that slip up, and of course the momentum was gone as well. He's getting it moving now, those little steps they need to take. Pulling on that rope, making sure they keep balance, of course. He's doing well now, he's moving at a good speed. But I think that slip at the beginning there really set him back somewhat. Coming up to the finish line now. 42.58 seconds for Dale Norris. That puts him way down on the table and some way behind Mark Lawson. Another hard day at the office.
Stephen.
Ready?
Want this, Brooksy?
Steve Brooks then. Glen Ross's favourite for the title this year. He says he's going to step it up a gear in the final day, so we'll soon find out whether that's going to happen or not. Look how fast he's away already. Total power, awesome. He's absolutely flying. He's almost running with 24 tons of truck strapped to his back. Oh, that was incredible. 24.37. He absolutely smashed Mark Lawson's time to put himself at the top in this first event of the day. Mark Lawson currently second. But Steve Brooks be well happy with that. And if anyone can beat him, it's this man, Terry Hollands of England. Huge, huge guy. 6'6", something like 27 stone. He's not as big as Glen Ross, but Glen Ross, of course, not competing this year, having injured himself in an event earlier in the year. But that's left the field wide open for this year's competition. So Terry Holland's doing well here, actually, looking pretty quick. Not as quick as Steve Brooks was. He's powering away, 29.30 seconds. Is he going to beat Mark Lawson? He has beaten Mark Lawson, 33.72. Beats him by just over half a second. So Terry Holland's second then in this monster limo pool. Last man up then, Simon Morton.
Ready? Take the strain.
Simon needs to beat Steve Brooks' time of 24.37 seconds if he's going to win. Second, of course, Terry Hollands, just over 33 seconds. So Simon's away, but those Hummer limousines don't appear to be moving that fast. Shouts of encouragement from the guys.
Come on, mate, you're almost there. Come on, dig him out fast. Go on, Simon, keep going. Mate.
Digging in, but it doesn't really look like he's getting much leverage there. It's a little bit too upright for my liking. Just over 42 seconds, 42.58. That puts him 5th after the first event. Well, from 5th to first place, let's catch up with the winner, Steve Brooks.
Used to pull a lot heavier things than that. My technique was good, and I'm fit, so it was fine, no problem.
So then, confirmation of the results of the first event. Steve Brooks, a convincing winner with 24.37 seconds. Terry Holland's nearly 10 seconds behind him. But the rest of the field very tightly packed, literally a second or two between them, with Paul Roberts propping up the pack.
Event 2 of the final, the tyre flip, the event that sorts the men out for the boys. These tyres weigh over 1,000 pounds, 455 kilo. The athletes have to flip these down a 15-metre course.
Well, they say a picture speaks 1,000 words, and, well, that's lifting 1,000 pounds. That just shows how heavy these things are. Let's hear from Big Daddy Glenn Ross.
The monster tyre flip, 1,000 pound in weight. This is a real powerhouse event, and have to go to people like Dave Meir and Big Dale Norris.
So then, they're off flipping this giant 1,000-pound tyre down a 15-metre course, but I get the feeling it's not going to be who finishes and crosses the line. I think it's who flips it the furthest. And Dale Norris already off to a good start. He's only 5-6 metres down, miles ahead of the rest of the field. Huge, incredible upper body strength. In fact, good leg strength as well, Dale Norris. He is a bit of an all-rounder. Terry Holland's there, just a second man in from the right, also well away, so he's doing well. But Steve Brooks, surprisingly, looking like he's struggling. And he's holding his left arm there, which we saw earlier in a previous competition that he'd had problems with his right arm, and he's walking off, so that's not good for him. Terry Holland's getting it over again, and he's definitely catching up with Dale Norris. He's going to need another flip or two, actually, to get past Dale. Dale's doing well. Going for another flip. Must be about 5-6 metres down the 15-metre course now. So the question is, can he just get one more flip out? And he has done. Ah, fantastic from Dale Norris. So then the big Welshman leading. Terry Holland's following up close, but he's not got much time left. This is the first heat, of course. 4 more guys to participate after this. There's only so many 1,000-pound tyres lying around, you know. Terry Hollands gets it over. Gary Taylor blows the whistle. Well, very clear, isn't it? Dale Norris the winner. Terry Hollands in second place. Steve Brooks pulled out. Interesting to find out what's happened to him. So then, heat 2. Paul Roberts on your left there. Dean Bolt on your right in the red trunks, away already. To the right of him, there's Mark Lawson. Come on, Mark. 1,000 pounds. Dave Meir in the background to the right. They're really struggling, but Mark Lawson doing well. Mark Lawson actually flying ahead now. Paul Roberts having a good showing on the left-hand side, but look at Mark Lawson just off centre of your screen there. Paul Roberts is stuck around the sort of 4-metre mark, but Mark Lawson manages yet another flip. Remember, there's 2 heats, but all the points get joined together, and there's only one winner out of the 2 heats. So Mark Lawson's going to be looking to beat Dale Norris. Dale Norris, of course, 9.5 metres. Paul Roberts catching up now with Mark Lawson. Phenomenal performance from him. And Mark Lawson responds with another flip. What a competition. Mark Lawson calls it a day. Paul Roberts going for one more. Neck and neck, these two guys. He's not got it in him, and I think Mark Lawson just pipped that. Well, incredible performance from him, but I can tell you that Dale Norris won that event by about 40 centimetres. Let's catch up with him.
It's a heavy tyre, very difficult to keep going on the flip. I've got a couple of good events to come, 1 or 2 bad ones, so I'm looking okay.
And was Steve Brooks' injury as bad as it looked?
very bad. I've actually torn my bicep on the left side. So now it's just a matter of hanging on, see how much heart I've got. It's like I said in the beginning, it's survival of the fittest, this strongman game, so I'll do my best.
So then confirmation at how close that was. Dale Norris beating Mark Lawson by just 40 centimetres and Mark Lawson beating Paul Roberts by 10. So a fantastic performance. But at the bottom of the pack, Dave Mear and Steve Brooks on nothing. Steve Brooks, of course, carrying an injury through to the next event. So then, 2 events down, 3 to go in the finals of UK's Strongest Man. And Mark Lawson surprising everybody, being top of the pack with 13 points. Terry Holland's just behind him on 12. And Dale Norris, well, there's not much separating those top 3 at all. Steve Brooks, though, has got it all to go, having got a serious injury in the last event. And Dave Mear at the bottom on 2.
Event 3 of the final, the barrel lift. The athletes have to lift the barrels overhead till the arms are locked straight. But they haven't got to lift just 1, they've got to lift 5. 100 kilo, 110 kilo, 120 kilo, 130 kilo, and finally the big one, 140 kilo. Fastest man wins.
So then, the barrel press suiting upper body strength here. Let's ask Big Daddy Glenn Ross who he thinks will win.
The barrel press, 140 kilos for that final lift, can only go to Dale Norris. But Terry Hollands, after that dumbbell disappointment in the heats, I fancy him to try and do well in this one.
Dave Mear then on your left, getting ready with the 100-kilogram barrel. They've got to basically clean it and press it above their head, drop it down, move on to the next weight. Must be a clean press. Paul Roberts up against him. 100 kilos. It's up, gets the OK from the referee. No, he doesn't. Has to do it again. Dave Mear. Presses the second barrel, 110 kilos. Paul Roberts struggling on the second one. Dave Mear in the background there was already looking to do the third one. No, he's just not managing to get it up there. I saw Dave Mear in last year's competition and the log lift, which is a similar event, pressing a heavy log above the head. He did very well in that, so he would fancy his chances to perform quite well in this one, but he's struggling on the third one. And I can't understand why. He's normally suited to competitions like this, Dave Mear. Paul Roberts still only managed 1 barrel. Dave Mear here going for the third. 120 kilograms. He's not been given it. Gary Taylor there, not giving it. He didn't get his arms up straight. You can see it's not just about the weight, it's such an awkward shape to lift that barrel. It's so hard to get control of it as it gets above your head. No, he says, that's it for me. Whistle goes. So I think big disappointment for both men there. Dave Mear managing just 2 barrels in shade over 16 seconds. Paul Roberts, well, he just managed the 1 in 13 seconds, so he'll be very disappointed.
Stand up, please. Are you ready?
Big Steve Brooks, I'm surprised to see him competing here, up against Simon Morton. Yep, down. Simon Morton clears the first 100-kilogram barrel easily, it looks like. Steve Brooks going for the second. Looks like he means it, but he's just got it there. He's got to push it up and get his arms locked out. Simon Morton going for the third barrel. He lifted the second one in what? I make it just a shade over 15.75 seconds, but no, Steve Brooks really having problems with his arm. Both arms. He was holding his right, then he was holding his left. He said it's about survival of the fittest, but he doesn't look his fittest on this final day, and he'll be very disappointed with that. Simon Morton then, stuck on 120 kilograms. Steve Brooks stuck on the second barrel. He's shaking his head, he's holding his arm. Things don't look good. Just a few seconds left for Simon Morton. Trying to press that third barrel. If he does, it'll be a good result for him. Come on, Simon, one last effort. Gary Taylor looking at his clock. No, shakes his head, walks away. Knows when he's been beat.
Athletes ready!
Big Dale Norris.
Keepers ready!
Wales against Wales. Dean Bolt on the other side in the red shorts. And Dale Norris cleans it easily. Dean Bolt really struggling there. Amazingly, Dale Norris 2 down. Dean Bolt not even managed the first one. He just can't seem to sort of grasp it and get it up. But in the background there, Dale Norris has cleared the third one. Incredible. Will he be the first man to lift 4 barrels? 130 kilogram the fourth one, 140 kilogram the heaviest. I tell you what, he's going to give it a good go. Oh. You can just see how heavy that is. It's knocking those big men all over the place as they get it up high. So trying to keep their balance. That's nice. Dean Bolt giving him words of encouragement there. Dean Bolt's actually stopped. He's not going to lift a single barrel in this event. And I don't think that Dale Norris is going to lift the fourth one either. But he'll be very pleased with that. 3 barrels in just over 23 seconds. That puts him first. Well, here's the much fancied Terry Hollands up against Mark Lawson here in your picture. Mark Lawson, explosive power, very, very quick. Terry, well, he'll be a little bit slower. Well, I say that. Terry Hollands is away already. Mark Lawson clears the first one. Terry Hollands already done the first one, now on the second barrel. And he clears it. Second barrel, shade over 18 seconds for Terry Hollands. Keying himself up for the third. In the background there, Mark Lawson now looking to lift that second barrel, 110 kilograms. Come on, Mark. Great competitor, this guy. As I said, he's surprised everybody in how well he's done in this competition. Actually looks like he caught his foot a bit there. You don't want one of those landing on your foot. Go on, Terry. Terry going for the third barrel, 120 kilograms. You see how awkward it is. You can't get both hands underneath it. It's got to be one on top, one underneath, trying to balance it, and then going for that clean push, which he fails to do.
15
Well, you heard it, 15 seconds to go. Mark Lawson hobbles away. Looks like he did injure himself there. He managed 1 barrel in just, 10.7 seconds. Terry Hollands calls it a day. 2 barrels, a shade over 18 seconds for Terry. Well, that's the barrel press results. There's a few surprises in this competition. Dale Norris with 3 barrels, the only man to lift 3, but Simon Morton and Dave Mear, a surprising second and third. Even more surprising, Terry Hollands at 4th and Steve Brooks in 5th. But I must say, I think Steve Brooks has now finished this competition. The injuries keep on coming for him. So then, after 3 events, 2 more to go, Dale Norris leads the pack. But Terry Hollands and Mark Lawson very much in the running. At the bottom of the table, well, Paul Roberts, Dean Bolt and Dave Mear look like they're no longer contenders for the UK's strongest man.
Event 4, the motorcycle hold. The athletes have to hold this motorcycle and cradle, which weighs over 350 kilo, as long as they possibly can, using this crane and these handles.
So then the motorbike hold, the second from last event, and Glenn Ross is going to give you his tips to win this one.
The motorbike lift and rider with cradle, 320 kilograms. What a grip strength, grip power this is going to be. And it has to go with guys with long, skinny hands. And my tip for this one has to be Mark Lawson.
So then big Dave Mear gets hoisted up into the sky. Hope he's happy. Gary Taylor asking him if he wants to be lifted a little bit more. And that's it. The motorbike's up, the whistle goes and the clock starts. Now it's just pain, more pain for Dave Meir. He has to try and shut that out and just focus on keeping that motorbike off the ground. Going for as long as he can, already at 14 seconds. Fantastic showing from Dave Meir. Keep going. Oh. Well, he's going to be very happy with that. 20.78 seconds, the official time for Dave Meir. Looks at his hands. I was telling you earlier, it really does cause immense pain in the hands. Paul Roberts of Ireland will be looking to beat Dave Meir's time. Dave Meir on the lead, 20.78 seconds. There the whistle goes. Timer will start for Paul Roberts. Start of what many humans would not be able to take. Incredible pain and suffering as he keeps that motorbike up in the air. It looks fantastic, doesn't it? 16, 17 seconds. Look at the pain etched on his face. Keep going. Oh, and he drops it. 19.89 seconds, just short of Dave Meir's time of 20.7 or thereabouts. So that'll put Paul Roberts in second place. Again, holding his hands. I don't think they want to be doing this event too often. Simon Morton up next. Getting winched up by the forklift. Timer starts for him. He's just got to shut everything out. He's squatted down slightly, slightly different technique, but at the end of the day, all the pressure's in the hands. It really is. Whoever's got that strongest grip, whoever can withstand the most pain wins this competition. He's doing very well. Oh, he's just dropped it. 20.72 seconds, 0.06 behind Dave Meir. So that's a very, very good showing from Simon Morton. Not enough to put him in the lead. Mark Lawson now, who for me has been the surprise of this year's UK Strongest Man. Still not one of the biggest guys. You might have seen the motorbike swinging down below there. That doesn't help matters because that weight's sort of shifting and you have to try and keep that under control. Eyes closed, total focus. Yes, he's nodding. I can do this. I can do this. He's already moved into the lead. Oh, 28.96 seconds. Well, he's set the marker down. And the other guys are going to be thinking, how are we going to beat that? Great performance from Mark Lawson, and he knows it. Well, there's big Terry Hollands up next. A real man-mountain, if ever I've seen one. I asked him earlier what his best strongman result was, and he told me it was playing for the under-21 Harlequins, which isn't strongman at all, of course, it's rugby, so I'd imagine he's just as formidable on the rugby field. From Dartford in Kent, Terry Hollands. I definitely think he's built up quite a reputation so far this year. Looking very steady. Got to keep on holding just that much longer. It's going to be Mark Lawson's time, which he has done. He lets it down. What's the official time? It's 30.67 seconds for Terry Hollands to put himself into first place in that motorbike hold. So then final confirmation of the fourth event of the UK's Strongest Man. Terry Hollands, of course, winning with a very impressive 30.67 seconds, but perhaps even more impressive from the smaller man, Mark Lawson, on 28.96. Well, Dave Meir's bucked his ideas up, and he was third in that one, and that'll help him. So 4 events down and just 1 to go, and it really is about 3 men at the top there. 2.5 points separating them. Terry Hollands on 25, Mark Lawson, the dark horse of the tournament, on 23, and Dale Norris on 22.5.
The final event, the athletes have to lift these 5 flagpoles that get progressively heavier till they lock out in the final position. The fastest man will win.
Let's hear from Big Daddy Glenn Ross on who he thinks is going to win this event.
Here we are on this beautiful day, the final day of the competition. 3 days, 13 grueling events, and we're down to the strongman flag hoist. 3 guys in the hunt that tanked Dale Norris, that tree trunk of a man, Terry Hollins, and my surprise, Mark Lawson could lift this title. But I fancy, my tip for today has to be that redwood of a man, Terry Hollins. This suits tall men with a strong back, and he's the only guy, in my opinion, that'll lift this 5th flag.
So then, first up is Dean Bolt, participating in this competition on his own because Steve Brooks has pulled out, of course, so it's going to be hard for him to gee himself up when he's got nobody else on the other side competing against him. He's got the first 2 up nice and easily there. But they get progressively heavier, they get longer, they become much harder to lift up. You have to lock them into position on the vertical. It's 3 down, it's 2 to go. And he's done it. Oh, no. You don't want to let go of that. You must lock it into position. You did not want to see that falling down to the ground, so he's up to the 5th and final pole. The hardest one. He's making a good go of it. The Welshman had a very good competition, actually. I think he'll be very pleased with his turnout this year. Come on, Dean, just one final effort. No, it's not going to be. He's asking how much time he's got. Trying to take a breather, get some energy and strength back in. Not enough. Not enough gas in the tank for Dean Bolt. But a great effort. Well, Paul Roberts of Wexford, 29-year-old, former Irish arm wrestling champion, up against Dave Mear. Dave 7th in last year's competition. And Paul Roberts away fast. Now, Glenn Ross did say this event suits tall men. Neither of these men are that. Dave Mear just about 6 foot and Paul Roberts about an inch underneath that. So I don't know how well they're going to do in the competition, but Paul Roberts seems to be flying. Looks to have locked in the 3rd flag already. 300 kilos, the 3rd one. Then the next one, 325. The final flag, 350 kilograms. So Paul Roberts going for that 4th flagpole. Not managing it. Dave Mear as well. Stuck on the same. Who's going to be the first one to get it up there? A bit like he was a praying mantis there or something, but he does like to psych himself up. Big Dave Mear. But again, we know this event is not suited to either man, so they are going to find it difficult. Both lifted the 250, then the 275 and the 300 kilogram flagpoles. 325 being too much, and Dave Mear, ever the showman, stripped off his top. The ladies in the audience, no doubt. And no one can accuse him of not trying. A good effort from both guys. Dave Mear shaking his head, very frustrated. He shouldn't be too upset with that performance. Big Dale Norris of Wales then needs a good showing. He needs to get all 5 up really if he's going to have any chance of winning this competition. Remember, he's in 3rd place at the moment. It's important he does well. Terry Hollins and Mark Lawson still to go. Simon Morton there. But it's a little late in the day for him to be challenging for the medals. Dale Norris locks in the 2nd 275 kilogram pole. Simon Morton already on the 4th. I tell you what, Dale Norris will not be happy. I'm sure he'd be expecting a much stronger showing than what he's doing at the moment. His chances are fading by the second. Simon Morton, on the other hand, incredible performance. Well, Dale Norris has managed to get the third one in place. Simon Morton stuck on that fifth pole, 350 kilograms. Dale Norris needs this. He needs this. And he needs Terry Hollands and Mark Lawson, well, to have a bit of a stinker, quite frankly. Noticed that Dale Norris was being given some more smelling salts there, trying to clear the head for that final effort. Just seconds left, Gary Taylor shouting out the time to them. And Dale Norris, well, I think he's given up. And so's Simon Morton. Well, we have to wait and see now. And we have to wait and see what this man does. This is it. We're down to the final, really. It's Mark Lawson against Terry Hollands. Whoever wins this theoretically becomes UK's Strongest Man 2005. It's an out-and-out race. I think Dale Norris blew it in the last event. Terry Hollands, second flagpole up. Mark Lawson already got his second flagpole up as well. Number 3 for Terry. 3 for Mark Lawson in the background. It's an out-and-out race to get to the fifth pole. Terry Hollands, 4. Mark Lawson just seconds behind him, 4. It's down to 5 of the fifth flagpole. Who's going to do it? Is it going to be Terry Hollands? And it is Terry Hollands. He's won the UK's Strongest Man 2005. Sensational performance. And this is what this competition's all about. Down neck and neck to the wire. Mark Lawson, well, he put up a fantastic showing, but Terry Hollands, he was, in a way, I'm not going to say lucky, but this event suited him, like Glenn Ross said. Big, tall men with strong backs. What a great race that was. Well, I think both men can be proud of the performance that they put in there. Let's catch up with this year's winner, Terry Hollands.
Absolutely fantastic. Hasn't quite sunk in yet, but oh, it's absolutely brilliant. I couldn't explain how I feel at the minute.
So then, final confirmation of the giant flag hoist. Terry Hollands, of course, being the only man to manage 5, and well, doing that secured him victory of this year's competition. Mark Lawson, though, made a good go of it, managing 4 flags. Simon Morton slightly slower in lifting the 4th, as was Dean Bolt in 4th place. So then, this is how they ended up in this year's UK Strongest Man. It's an England 1, 2 and 3, with Terry Hollands, King of the Hill, top of the heap on 33 points. In 4th place, it's Dale Norris, doing Wales proud, and in 5th, Paul Roberts of Ireland. But commiserations to Steve Brooks, probably the tournament favourite. Well, his competition was blighted by injury, and he finished 8th. Well, it's just left for last year's champion Glenn Ross to give this year's champion the trophy. Terry Hollands, hasn't he been fantastic?
So, time's up. Plenty of mighty minnows in the flow, but at the end of it all, just the one big fish. He wins the title of UK's Strongest Man. But the biggest fish of them all, Glenn Ross, he promises to be back to wrench back the title. From all of us here in Belfast, it's bye-bye.